everybody. How are you today? There I am on the FaceTime camera. So, yes, it is me on a premiere with another story for you tonight. I'm obviously here for the premiere, but probably not in chat because I'm most likely off grid. I have a couple of big trips planned and with my camera. So for those, I am going to have recorded stories for you. So thank you for coming, my tribe, my Storytime tribe, for keeping it real. I'm Gretchen Shepherd, and that's what this is all about, is keeping it real, story and art, and sharing a little bit of my love for children's literature and the amazing messages that it has in it and that it can share with all of us and that you can share with other people too. Most of them are pretty uplifting. Some of them are kind of enlightening, and some of them are just plain surprising about things that we didn't even know existed in our history or around the world, and they're revealed to us in children's literature. Tonight I have a story by Tad Hills, and just a wonderful illustrator, author that put together a very cute little series of books. And this is about a little dog named Rocket. And it is called How Rocket Learned to Read. So join me for this. And in this story, yes, let's see if I can get the right camera for you. Oh, nope. We'll see again. Let's try one more time. And there we go. There's the book for us. You bet. All right. How Rocket Learned to Read by Tad Hills. Oh, cute. Now, Rocket loved to play. He loved to chase leaves and chew sticks. He loved to listen to the birds sing. Every fall morning, after chasing leaves, Rocket would lie down in his favorite spot under his favorite tree. There he'd sniff the neighborhood smells and settle in for a good nap. But one day, a little yellow bird startled Rocket. "Aha! My first student! Wonderful!" she sang. Rocket was confused. Student? I'm not But if I am your teacher," the bird interrupted, "then you must be my student." Rocket found it hard to argue with this bird. "I'm so glad you saw my sign," the bird chirped. Oh yes, I can see it," Rocket said, "but I don't know how to read." "Can't read? Oh, fantastic!" She waved a wing. "Welcome to my classroom." And the sign says, "Class starts today." But I just came here to nap." "Oh, no, there'll be no napping in class," declared the bird, "except, of course, during nap time." "Well, then I can take my nap over here," said Rocket. "I've had a very busy morning." "Oh, not to worry. I'll be around every day," chirped the bird, "until the weather turns." As Rocket breathed in the crisp air, the little yellow bird hung her banner. "Ah, the wondrous, mighty, gorgeous alphabet," she marveled, "where it all began." Opening up a book, the bird began to read. She sang out the story of an unlucky dog named Buster, who'd lost his favorite bone. A cool breeze carried her lively voice across the yard. At first, Rocket was disturbed. But before long, he found himself captivated. To Rocket, the story was as delicious as the earthly smells of fall. It was as exciting as chasing leaves. He closed his eyes and listened to every word. As Buster dug and dug under the lilac bush, the bird read, he felt something familiar. Rocket waited. Was it the bone? He wondered. Silence. Was it the bone? He called to the bird. More silence. Was it the bone? Rocket hollered. Suddenly he was rushing to the tree. Well, was it? But the little yellow bird was gone. The next morning, Rocket arrived early. At last, the little yellow bird appeared. Hello, how wonderful to see you in class, she chirped. I can tell by your waggy tail that you are well rested. I'd like to hear the end of the story, please, said Rocket. Well, that seems a fine way to start the day, chirped the bird. And she gave Rocket a name tag and began to read. Every day, Rocket returned to the little yellow bird's classroom. In the morning, the bird taught him a new letter. Until he had learned all the wondrous, mighty, gorgeous alphabet. Together they sang out the sounds that each letter makes and spelled the sounds they heard around them. With the G and many R's, they spelled Mr. Barker's growl. Grrr. They spelled the sound of the wind, which was growing colder by the day. Whoosh. And soon they were spelling words like F-A-L-L, fall, for the gusty time of year, and R-E-D, red, for the color of the leaves. And each afternoon, the bird read a story. She read stories about dogs and birds. She read about leaves changing colors and about birds flying south for the winter. Then one day, the weather turned and the letter banner disappeared. See you again in the glorious spring, the bird sang. And as she flew into the wintry sky, she called, Don't forget, words are built one letter at a time. The days grew shorter, and the leaves fell from the trees. The grass became crunchy, and soon Rocket's classroom disappeared under the snow. He remembered the little yellow bird's alphabet and practiced his letters. Rocket thought about the bird's sweet chirp while he sounded out words like D-I-G, dig, and W-I-N-D, wind, and C-O-L-D, cold, S-U-N, sun, M-E-L-T, melt. He made new friends and spelled their names. Hello, E-M-M-A, Emma. Hi there, Fred, F-R-E-D. He spelled everything. When Rocket spelled M-U-D, mud, he knew that spring, as it always does, had returned. The breeze blew warmer, the grass grew greener, and a sign appeared. Class starts today. Oh, class starts tomorrow. Early the next morning, Rocket rushed to his classroom and he waited. He spelled W-A-G, wag. Soon the little yellow bird arrived. Aha! My star student, she sang. How wonderful to see you. I can tell by your waggy tail that you are ready for class. And the sign says, Welcome back, Rocket. Then together they began to read. They read stories about birds flying north in the spring. They read about picnics in the warm sun. They read about Buster the lucky dog who found his bone under the lilac bush. And when they were done, they read it again and again and A-G-A-I-N again. And that's how Rocket learned to read. And the author wishes to acknowledge the insight and support of Joan Kindig, Associate Professor of Reading Education at James Madison University, and James Morrissey, Kindergarten Teacher, and Laura Hulbert, Lower Learning School Learning Specialist, both of Brooklyn Friends School. Ah. So here's about Tad Hills. Tad Hills, with the real Rocket, is the author and illustrator of the highly acclaimed New York Times bestselling picture books Duck and Goose and Duck, Duck, Goose. His board books include ALA, ALSC notable children's books, What's Up, Duck? He's also the illustrator of Waking Up Wendell, oh my goodness, by April Stevens. Tad lives in Brooklyn with his wife, their 2 children, and a dog named Rocket, who has not yet learned how to read. Yet. And that's the story of how Rocket learned to read. Yes, there I am. So that's the first book in the series with Rocket. There is another one that will come on the next show because I'm gone for a few days. So I have a few choice books to premiere for you every night. So don't forget to pull out your sketchbooks, do a little bit of art. I'm off probably in the wilderness looking for bears, I think maybe this time. Who knows where? Or maybe I'm in Botswana looking for elephants. Who knows where this time? But I will have my sketchbook with me and I'll have my camera with me. And I'll look forward to when I do get back to all the sketches and the artwork and the things and poems and little books that you're making that were inspired by these readings. I'd love to see them, and we'll show them when I get back. So get your sketchbook out and go look for the beauty hidden in plain sight. And before you head out, remember to go look in the mirror, because that's where you're going to see the beauty first, looking right back out at you and saying, hey there, beautiful. All right, until next time, take care.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Feeling alright, we won't go home, we will just stay here downtown. There's not just stars on the boulevard, they're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards, I just need you by my side. We could be shameless.